Today we would like to discuss bending moment. See, basically, bending moment can be said as a reaction force. So we know that according to the third law of motion, every force will on a body on a second body. If a first body exert a force on the second body, if it is in contact with the first body, then the second body will exert a reaction force on the first body. So in this case, if I have a structure and the structure, if a force is acting on the structure, external force or moment is acting on the structure, and if the structure is trying to bend and the force is trying to bend the structure or the element, then the reaction which is developed inside the structure due to the Newton's third law of motion, that reaction force causes the moment that is called as a bending moment. So if a structure has to bend, we can say that there should be a force, not only a force, but the force should produce a moment, which is the force should act in a direction perpendicular to its, what I say, the axis or its length. So there should be or there should be two forces where the line of action of the two forces should be different and it is perpendicular to the body. So I will say, take an example. I'll take a beam as an example. This is a beam, and I am let us see what is the bending moment. So you can see here the diagram shows a beam which is simply supported, free to rotate, and therefore at both ends. So at both ends it is free to rotate. Okay, the ends can only react to the shear. So I have a shear stress. So that means if these two ends are fixed, and suppose if I apply a shearing stress, that means a stress which is tangential to the surface. So you will see in this figure that a moment is created inside this beam. ചുരുക്കി പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു ഫോഴ്സ് പുറത്തുനിന്ന് കൊടുക്കുമ്പോൾ ആ ബോഡിയുടെ ഉള്ളിൽ, ഒരു ബീമിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന റിയാക്ഷൻ ഫോഴ്സിനെയാണ്, അത് ബെൻഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്നെങ്കിൽ അതിനെയാണ് ബെൻഡിങ് മൊമെന്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. So the simplest time of a beam is a cantilever, which is fixed at one end and the other is free. So ഒരു അറ്റം മാത്രം ഫിക്സ് ചെയ്തു, മറ്റേ അറ്റം ഫ്രീ ആണെങ്കിൽ അതിന് നമ്മൾ കാന്റിലിവർ എന്ന് വിളിക്കും. In reality, the beam supports are neither absolutely fixed nor absolutely not rotating freely. So if you take a cross section of a element, so if you say the cross section, and that can be resolved into a resultant force and a resultant couple. For equilibrium, that means when there is no net force or net equilibrium, net moment, that means the external and the internal moment should be equal. The bending moment at a section through the structural element may be defined as the sum of the moments about that section of all the external forces acting to one side of that section. The forces and moments on either sides of the section must be equal in order to counteract.